Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 8 properties today, and that's a little bit low for coming off the weekend. Typically, we're 15, 20, 25 homes, so maybe people were just having fun in the fall weather, jumping around in big piles of leaves. So let's get to the first one. What we do is we order by price, so we just click this button here. It goes from low to high, and we start off with this one at it's on the top floor at 405 at 1479 Maple, 284.9. Really nice high ceiling here. Like when people come in, they say, wow, this is nice. Like they get a big impression. If you look at the sales in this building, the ceilings might add a couple $1,000s, but I think that it's worth a lot more than that. When you actually look at the same unit selling at 405, 305, 205, we don't see huge differences, which is unfortunate. I would pay it for sure. There's no doubt about it. You've got kind of a make your own bed. It's a tenant in here, right? So you kind of let them off the hook. You're not buying the bed anyway. And then you've got your east view, so you're going to get the morning sun. And then they have a gym in this building here too. So $324 on the maintenance fees. You've got 1 parking spot. I believe that the square footage is a little under 900 square feet. So they may have just gotten this one a little bit high. Unverified. I've never had the floor plans, but I recognize them just from seeing them so much. So anyway, it seems like it's in line, and the ceiling is definitely helping. The view is probably one of the better ones that you'll see. Main, this is Bristol on Main, unit 202, so it's not the 4th floor. It doesn't have the ceiling. It is bigger though. It's about 1,000 square feet at 314,988. I don't know if I'd call that under cabinet lighting. I mean, it kind of reminds me of something like this, like the Fast and the Furious. Whatever. Maybe it looks good at night. And I like the way that they kind of picked up some of the tones from the kitchen, the lighter wood here. They kind of swirled that in. It's engineered hardwood. I'm not saying it's bad, but don't call it hardwood. It's laminate floor, okay? Let's be honest. And so you're looking over the parking lot. The view on the other one I find is a little bit better. Having that pond behind. Kids play on that pond too. They skate in the winter and stuff like that. So I kind of dig that. We have Gervase Terrace here, Gervase. It's like the former Anaheim Mighty Ducks player, Guy Hebert, who obviously, if you're French, you cringe when you hear that. This is a 2-bedroom model. It looks like it's the one, they said instead of 2 big bedrooms instead of 3 small ones. I don't know if I agree with that, because I think the basic model comes in a 2-bedroom. We do see the 3 bedrooms sell $330, $340. So because of their nice finishes, even though it's a bit smaller with the 2 bedrooms, they're trying to kind of edge up into the $430 range on their asking price. And they overlook a nice little pathway, which does add value too. So they've set this one up nicely. This is so it's a 3-story home. It's called a Main Street Town, and so it has a laneway access to a double garage with a patio above, and you also have the front balcony. So you have 2 different places where you access the outdoors, but you don't really have a backyard. You've got the patio above the garage. Very nice for a first-time buyer, but the 3 bedrooms are a little bit easier to sell. So they're going to have a harder time selling this one. Not to say it would reflect in value, because I think value is more about the square footage than it is about the way that they configure. I partly agree with the logic is, do you want 2 smaller bedrooms versus 3? But the thing is, 3 just opens your audience. Same with 3 and 4. 4 bedrooms will just open you up to the audience that needs that 4, even though the size of the house is probably more of what gives it value than the way it's set up. 597 Grant Way is $464, and so if you look at where it is, it's actually this house right here on the corner, so it's got a pretty decent sized yard. The one here at 570 Duncan sold last year at $440 full price, very fast. The backyard got cut down, so it's very small. This one has a much better yard, same model, and this one has better finishes, plus the year over year. I gotta say, they're probably gonna get this. 2-car parking in the driveway. Excuse me, you've got some good looking floors here, very shiny floors. The main area on this one is kind of in this front part, and then it's a little bit harder. This is not a big family room right here, so you got to be careful with size of your furniture. And then you've got your eat-in in the back, so it's almost like it's, I'd like for this area around the kitchen to be a little bit bigger, but you get a lot of the size on the back end there. So there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. They're all pretty nice size rooms, and they've got the hardwood upstairs too. And there we go. So that's the size of the property right there, and you can see a little bit of Dairy Road, so it gets noisy. If you want perfect serenity, quiet, probably not going to happen. So, but I think the price is definitely where it needs to be. Cedar Hedge is $514,900. It's a Poddington model, and so you've got a hardwood hallway, but you've got carpet in the living dining here. You've got these nice arches. The 9-foot ceilings on this model make a big difference. They really change your impression. You've got some moldings here. You've got a pot light. The floors are a little bit different color than the cabinets, and then you've got your hardwood through the back. And 3 bedrooms upstairs plus laundry. They do have a kind of a jacuzzi tub in here. I have an Italian client who calls it jacuzzi tub, so whatever floats your boat. And there you go. It's a nice model. It's got a great main floor. The complaint on this one is that the master bedroom doesn't have a lot of closet space. It's just a very basic sort of 2 sliding doors. And for someone with a lot of clothes, it doesn't leave you a lot of options. Although I had a client, what they did was, if you look in the back here, so the master bedroom's right here, and they actually cut into the attic and they made it an extra closet space, and it apparently wasn't that difficult. I'll leave that to your discretion, but it might be an option for you. Swan Crescent is a 3-bedroom Lindsay model, so I think this one's floating, if memory serves correct, between 1,600 and 1,700 square feet. We have seen the 4-bedrooms sell for around this kind of price, $520,000, $525,000. Doing the driveway would have made a big difference here, because that looks old. You have a nice blacktop. It snaps. It makes a really nice impression. That is a great return on investment thing to do in your house, especially if it's really gray and tired looking, because your curb appeal, your first impression, sets the bar for where everything else is going to happen. The kitchen looks decent. Would have been nice to have an eat-in here. And then you've got your basement that is finished. I don't know if it's a power color painting it that kind of powder blue, but $519 seems a little bit high. It looks like they put a new roof on here, which is in this neighborhood starting to become the norm. It's getting to around 12, 13 years. I think they should last a little bit longer, but it's probably the way the builder put them in. Maplewood is back on the market. So they had it out. They had a lot of activity on it. I think it was at $559. It's a great little location, walking distance to Milton District High School, and it looks like perhaps at some point they may have converted the garage into living space. I'm not sure if this was the garage or how it's set up. 70 by 115 foot property. It's got lots of renovations. You could still work with this kitchen, even if you replace the appliances. I think you've still got stuff to work with. You can stain those cabinets darker and so on. Anyway, looks like it's got a lot of space. I'm not sure if that's where the garage used to be. Bathroom's been done, and then you've got your pool in the back. So anyway, neat property, great location, and I think that they're going to get a lot of traction on it. It doesn't have a garage though, so if that's important, that's one thing that you just want to be aware of. And finally, we have Galbraith, which is $599, 2,500 square feet. This is not a bad price point for 2,500 square feet. But it kind of looks like it's a 10 to 12-year-old house. The kitchen has kind of like the honey-colored wood, which is just harder. Like even the blue counters, these are all things that kind of had their moments, and they're just, it's just kind of past, right? It's just things change. I mean, we've used the example in Daily Homes of, like Beverly Hills 90210. If you ever watched that show in the 90s, I mean, it's the styles have changed. So it's a nice location. I love where it is. It's got a big property at 45 by 93. I think if you came in and put a bit of money into this one, I think that for what it could be worth after changing it, you could easily push this one into the $620, $630 range with some proper, I would guess probably $10,000. So this could be one of those opportunity properties where if you can just see past some of the things that maybe are turning off other buyers, it might be a great chance. The neighborhood, Hadfield School District, very nice. You can walk to that whole strip along Maple where there's all the commercial, Home Depot, Sunset Grill, the theater, the gym. You're not even that far from the GO train in Main and Thompson. It's all good. So this location to me is one of the better ones in town. And there you go. You're probably getting close to roofs in this neighborhood too. We've seen it more in the Mattamy area, but it's kind of starting to drift into this neighborhood where they're getting to be 11, 12 years old, and we're starting to see some wear and tear on the roof. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call. And thanks again for tuning in to Milton Daily Homes. Have a great day.